Hey team, I wanted to make a video because I was thinking about Halloween earlier today. I have made a video the past couple years I haven't really celebrated just because I didn't like the idea of scaring people, and I didn't believe in the idea of trick or treat. A tricking just didn't seem ethical to me, and so I decided that I was not going to participate, and um, so I haven't. I did sit with my parents and we did watch a movie that was kind of scary themed. I think it was a Haunted Mansion or something. And my mother did hand out candy and she did put a costume on. Very briefly. So I kind of decided that my policy is I'm not going to tell people what to do. This is a personal choice, and I think that I did explain why I wasn't celebrating to them, and so it's their choice if they want to listen or not, or agree with me or not. I used to absolutely love the holiday. I loved dressing up, but I didn't really. I mean, in our society, I wasn't. Used like the scariest people got were wearing scary costumes, but not really bothering you. Which that doesn't bother me. I don't mind so much if you happen to have a scary costume on when it's the appropriate day and you are not trying to actively scare people or bother people. That does not bother me really. So that's it's expected on that day, and so if you are a part of the culture and you recognize that, so that does not bother me. I don't want to be a spoil sport either. I don't want to again tell people what to do. That's kind of my policy. I don't want to tell people what to do, and they are free to make their own choices. So this year, I think I made a video already where I could just like feel myself thrilling and getting excited for the autumnal festivities, and one of them that I used to love so much was Halloween, and so I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate that appreciation for the costumes. It's the holiday is technically to scare away those evil spirits that are terrorizing people. It's supposed to get rid of them, and so it's not supposed to perpetuate that or be that to people. It's the bad spirits, and of course, the definition of that could be highly variable. I have, met a number of internet trolls that I wouldn't mind if they left me alone, and I don't know if scaring them is the best policy, or if being so boring maybe they'll just find something else to do. I don't know that it would if that would deter them at all, unfortunately. but I do understand this desire to protect people. I think the idea is to protect people from the bad spirits, the mean ones. And I'm pro protection of people, and I'm also pro the fun of the costumes. I don't mind candy. For a while there, I was vegan though, so I was just like, I can spend $5 for a very, very small candy bar that I might find out. Otherwise, you're not going to find it anywhere. Or like, great, dark chocolate. Just straight up, that's it. That's all you can find. Chocolate is great, but I had a couple favorites that were noticeably missing from the diet at that time. I was vegan for 5 years, and then now I'm going back and forth, vegan vegetarian. So I'm vegetarian. I had one oops last month, and so I added on an extra week, but of vegan. But I am vegetarian again, and Gosh, that's a Halloween thing. But I don't know. I saw a video on the internet today and I clicked into it about Halloween decor. And I think it's hard because um, you want to celebrate with people and you want to be with people. And so it's very hard to be counterculture um, when it's the season, and when you have experienced the fun, and but it was mindless, it wasn't about, it was a new definition, a new holiday that was just about dressing up, eating candy, and enjoying each other's company, and there were no tricks involved, and but the rhetoric is still there. And so I actually did see a picture, I think, of a little kid that had a shirt on that said, at our house we don't do tricks, or something like that. And I thought that was cute. And of course I don't have kids, but just thinking, if I had to negotiate that, how do you explain the nuances of that, and wanting to live by your own values and your own rules, versus just mindlessly adopting those of the mainstream, but also maintaining that level of community, and shared culture and fun, because you don't want to other yourself. When you other yourself, it does suck. Like when you can't eat the candy at Halloween, you get over it, of course, especially if you're an adult. But and you can find the too expensive, simple bar of dark chocolate. Yeah, but then you have to kind of design your own candies, which I never really got around to. But it can make you feel ostracized and left out, and that's not good or healthy for anybody too. So I just love the spirit. I love being able to decorate, and before it, I met kind of like the mean people that actually wanted to trick people and take treats for themselves. It was fine, but after that point, it was like, I can't support that. So in the past, my policy, like, I had some reservations about other holidays too, and I kind of just said, well, let's celebrate all of them. Let's try and experience all of them from the perspective of somebody who follows that ideology, and just or do like a polite nod to them if they are very spiritual. You don't want to offend and try to mimic and just be completely offensive, but like having a nod to them, or like reading a passage or having a food, but trying to recreate without guidance where it can be very offensive is probably not the best idea. So watch for that. But could be on and off getting excited for the holidays. I've kind of taken a serious role here for a second, just worrying about or being mindful of current events and things, but it is good to have that level of community and that feeling of community, and togetherness. And so it's best when everyone can be on the same page about it, and respect each other's choices, especially when it comes to something that does have to do with ethics and morality. Like, I don't believe in tricking people and then taking treats, pretending like it's protecting people from the bad when you have become the bad. Then I'm not okay with that. So just being in it, in the atmosphere, in the environment, and getting people excited and feeling excited with people is something that I miss. So I don't know, I might try an autumnal event. Still very pro like corn mazes, and maybe pumpkins as decor. You could probably paint them or do art with them. Roast pumpkin seeds, just fun things like that. I'm trying to decide if it would be too along, if I could somehow pull off a costume party without the trick-or-treat nuance, if I just needed to post a sign. if maybe that would be all it would take to align the holiday with my morals, or to kind of create my own boundaries on it. But I I don't know. I don't know how many friends I'm going to have in the area when the holiday comes around, so it's probably going to be a non-issue. Most celebrations will be on the internet, so so we'll see. But I just love the holidays, and so I did feel it. I felt the nostalgia pulling at me earlier this morning, and I wanted to celebrate, and I wanted to celebrate with people. And I want people to comment on this video and say, oh, I dressed as a whatever one year, and I don't really care for the trick or treat part, or just, things like that. I'm so sorry that, the mainstream vegan candy is in the chocolate varietal. I suppose there are mainstream candies that are, you like, I don't know if Smarties actually might have gelatin or whatever. I'm sure you can find like the fruity ones, but I was very much like the chocolate girl. So trying to align it, if it would just take like, playful sign, or what would align it, because I do have that nostalgia. I do miss it. I miss the elements of that culture. I don't mind the scary costumes. There really isn't another time that embraces, and that's another thing that embraces like the supernatural, or like the spirits beyond this world, or like and scary things. I used to say, I had a family tragedy that involved murder suicide, and so I said, there's too many bad things, evil things in this world. I don't need the scary movies and things like that. But I think too that they do tell a story. So if I wanted to be able to recreate the horror of my own tragedy in a way that is socially acceptable, it could be in the form of like a horror story, or it could also be in that of a drama and things like that too. But even if it is drama, it might be, more horrific than what might be, I don't know. But having that freedom, you also don't want to cut off, parts of that, that culture, like, so people know what to do and how to react when they do feel scared. That might, I don't know, actually, I don't know, that might be worth a study if there is some sort of correlation, if it does educate you or teach you how to be brave. I never thought of that. Just trying to see how everything's shaking out on that front, too, because, and that's, death is a part of living. Like, the dead plants too are a part, and I think that dead plants are beautiful and worth photographing, and that some might say that's macabre. But I don't know many people that care about dead plants. It's other dead things that they would probably be really concerned about. But just trying to figure out the stance on that. So now that it's been 10 years since the family tragedy, and so I'm not as sensitive and worried about trigger warnings, and so I've never been a fan of scary movies, though. They've just never really been to my taste, to my speed, but they do round out a life to a certain extent. Some of them are just so scary. I just in my head, a couple of like scenes flashed before my eyes. I was like, what? So I still instinct is, no. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to, I don't want to take extreme positions, and I do believe in community. So if there are just little gives and takes that you can negotiate and make, and still have good community relations, I think that's nice. So here's to that. With that, I'm going to stop this video because it's way longer than I wanted it to be. Stream of consciousness always gets to be 20 minutes, so I'm going to stop now. Might edit it, and I might try it again to try to shorten it again, but I'll talk to you later.